Hi, my name is Amy Eber-Setzig, and this is the Functional Movement Screen Lab. The first movement I am doing is a deep squat. As you can see, I have the bar straight above my head. It also looks like I am not able to get very deep into my squat here. Also, it looks like my torso is not parallel here. And since it does not look perfect, I move my heels to the back of the board. And as you can see, my heels are placed on the back of the board. And then I attempt to do the deep squat again. And with my heels on the board, it looks like I'm able to then perform the deep squat better than the first time. It looks like I'm able to just get so much deeper into my squat here. Also, it looks like my torso is parallel here. It's not leaning forward. And so I would score this a 2. As you can see, if I do it again, it just looks much better than my original squat. Next up is the hurdle step. And here I have the dowel bar behind my head. And this next part you can't see, but my feet are right up against the board here. Then I proceed to lift my right leg over the string height, which is 17. And here I am my heel is touching the ground. And then I move it right back up over the string. And then I'm going to focus on this area a little bit on my right side because it looks like I have some alignment lost between my hips and knees. And it looks like I have movement in my lumbar spine. So as I come up and over, I'm a little bit unbalanced. And then when I come back over, you can see on my left side that my hip just dips down and the dowel bar moves towards the left side. So for this, I would give my score on the right a 2. And then next I do is my left leg. So I bring it over and my heel again touches the ground and I bring it up and over. And here it looks like I have minimal movement happening on my lumbar spine and it looks like I have no alignment lost. And so I would score my left side as a 3. Next is the inline lunge, and the dowel is placed behind my back. And as I get ready to do my lunge here, takes me a while, and then I go down, straight down, and my right foot is forward and my left foot is back. And as you can see here, my left knee is not touching my right foot. But it does look like the dowel bar is somewhat vertical. Could be a little better, but there's not a lot of movement happening. No torso movement, no dowel movement. And so for my right side, I would score a 2. And then I do it again, and I go down and back up. Now a lot of movement happening. And then I switch sides. So now my left foot is forward and my right foot is back. and my left foot is placed at the mark 17, as was my right foot. And then I placed the dowel bar behind my back. And then I get ready to go down into my lunge. And as I go down to my lunge here, you can definitely see that my right leg knee is touching the back of my left foot here. The dowel looks pretty vertical to me. Like I said, probably a little better, but looks good. Not a lot of dowel movement, not a lot of torso movement. And so I would score my left side a 3. I go back up, and then I go straight back down. Next, we have the shoulder mobility, and we did a clearing test for that first. Then I proceeded to put my right arm over my head and my left arm behind my back. And then Carrie comes up and measures it, and sadly I was not able to hear the first measurement. And then I do it again, same thing, right arm over my head, left arm over my back. And this time I was able to hear the length, and that was 7 inches. And for my right arm, since my fists were 1.5 hand lengths apart, I would score it a 2. So that's my right side. And then next I do my left side. So here you can see I have my left arm over my head, right arm behind my back. My thumbs are like tucked into my fist. Carrie comes up and takes the measurement, and the first one was 10. And then I do it again, and she measures it again, and it comes up 5. And since my fists were 1.5 hand lengths apart, my score would be a 2 for my left arm / side. Up next is the active straight leg raise, and we measure from ASIS to the joint line and take the middle. That is why we have this little marker here to tell us where the middle is. And had to do this a couple times to make sure my leg was straight, because it wasn't. Well, my knee was a little bent, so here it is. Now it's perfect. Carrie comes up and she takes the measurement of my left leg, and so I'm lifting it up as far as it can go. She comes over, measures it, and kind of just go straight down. And it looks like for my left leg, the vertical line of the malleolus resides between mid-thigh and joint line. So the score for my left side would be a 2. We then switch over to my right side. I'm able to bring it up, not very far, obviously, but then Carrie comes over and she measures it for me. So I'll just draw a line straight down. And looks like my right leg did the same as my left, so the vertical line of the malleolus resides between mid-thigh and joint line, and my score for my right leg would be a 2. Next, we have my favorite, the rotary stability. And so we have the board in between us with our hands and feet on both sides. Our thumbs should be touching the board, and our feet can't move and should stay up and down. So my feet should stay up and down like this and not move. And you can't see my thumbs, but they're up against the board. And then mentally prepare myself for this one. And I try to extend my right arm and right leg at the same time, and then I try to touch my leg to my knee. And as you can see, like right here, I'm like already out of balance and like shaking a little bit as I come in to touch my arm to my knee. And then I tried my left side, and that was a disaster. So here I am giving it a shot, already falling. We are already just out of balance, and there I go, arms flailing, legs flailing, we're just going down, and there she is, down. So then we don't do that, and then I do opposite arm and leg. So I start with touching my right arm to my left leg, and then extending them both out. And since I was able to do that easily, I wouldn't give myself a score of 2. And then I did that for the other side. So I extend my left arm and my right leg. I bring them together. So that's a score of 2 because I was able to do that easily, and I had correct diagonal repetition happening. The next up, which got out of order, is the trunk stability push-up, and we do a clearing test first, which is a spinal extension. You are supposed to have your feet and toes together, but it looks like I did not have that happening for me. And so I have, for women, their hands can be at their chin and then move the shoulder. So I tried that, and then I moved it to my shoulder. And what we should be seeing here is no lag when I come up. And so as I come up, so here we go, up, and there is no lag. And so I would give myself a score of 2. Thank you for watching my functional movement screen lab.